Squirt ya! This is Spike T. Penguin coming to you live from sunny Antarctica. Man, it's been like 10 years and I have not had one visit from you slack millennials. Anywho, you lot have an election coming up and I'm here to tell you what your political parties want to do with the environment, because it's up to you to vote for someone who won't mess up my sweet Antarctic ice palace with global warming. So get learning, get out there and get amongst. ACT wants to sell Landcorp, which is a government-owned farming company, which owns about 140 sheep and dairy farms. They would put the money into a sanctuary trust instead, which would pay for building native wildlife sanctuaries. They want to create a road use fee to try and cut down on congestion and pollution. This could mean more toll roads, or that you're charged based on how much pollution your car makes. They also want to introduce tradable pollution rights, which means companies could bid for the right to pollute a certain amount instead of being fined after they pollute. Greens are all about the environment. They want 100% clean, renewable electricity by 2030. They'd ban dirty new power plants and replace the old ones with renewable energy. They're also keen on helping communities generate their own electricity. They want to set up a green infrastructure fund, which would invest in low emissions business and technology. They want half of all freight onto rail and ships by 2027, and they'd fund that from the transport budget, the same way roads are funded now. Also, they want politicians to have to explain how every new piece of legislation will affect the environment. Labour reckon that clean water is every Kiwi's birthright. They want to fix up our waterways by getting farmers to fence all intensively stocked land near waterways and by setting up a riparian planting program. This would tie into their ready-to-work policy so young people on the dole could get paid for planting work. The party also wants to put a tax on commercial water consumption, and the money from this would be used to clean up polluted waterways. The National Party is planning to invest about $450 million into cleaning up lakes, rivers and other iconic waterways. They also want to plant up to 15,000 hectares of forestry on underutilised and erosion-prone land. The National Policy website is a bit light on the environment, but seeing as they're currently in power, they're responsible for a lot of environmental work that's already happening. New Zealand First have heaps to say about the environment. They're keen to ensure that wide public consultation occurs in the development of environmental policy, but also they'll take account of the views of key stakeholders when making it. Winston & Co don't like harmful pesticides in our rivers, the current emissions trading scheme, and they're extremely cautious about genetically modified products. They will support ecotourism, plans to recover threatened species, and they'll make sure all genetically modified food is clearly labelled. Also, they want to introduce net metering, so that if you make more electricity than you use, the power companies have to buy it back for the same price they sell it for. The top party thinks that establishment party governments have been running down our natural assets. They want to create a nature investment fund which will be devoted to helping regional councils clean up polluted areas and help reserve treaty claims over fresh water. It'd be paid for by a levy on commercial water users and polluters. They would also make 10% of all ocean ecosystems no-take reserves, meaning you wouldn't be able to fish in them, but they would compensate those who are affected where appropriate. They also want to make all rivers swimmable, unless local communities don't want to for some reason. The election's on the 23rd of September, so get out there and vote. Have fun, stay young, and get amongst.